da da cha da ra da 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 cha da da cha da 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 cha da da cha da da cha da da cha da da cha.
It's the podcast. Theodore Von Podcast here. Today on our show, we have some famous philosophers. One of them, straight out of France, is Descartes. And a rival to him, we have Locke from the Great Britain. Now, guys, I'll let you take it from here.
I am Joe Rogan. Welcome to the Philosophy Hour podcast. Renee, Jean, please introduce yourselves.
Wherever law ends, tyranny begins, and wherever philosophy hour begins, boredom ends.
Renee, you think that reason is the foundation of all knowledge. Can you talk more about that?
Of course. You can't trust your senses. They deceive you. I sought certainty by questioning what I saw. I even started doubting my own existence. Then I found out that the fact that I think proves I exist.
Very interesting, Renee. But now, what do you have to say about this topic, Locke?
Vaughn, I don't think we're born with our ideas. The mind's like a blank page. Everything we know comes from our experiences and what we reflect on, not from something we were born with.
Monsieur Locke, senses can be tricked. A reflection in moving water looks warped. Would you base truth on illusion?
You're right, Renee. The senses can fool us at times, but even those tricks are still experiences. By testing and comparing them, we learn which to trust, and that's how real knowledge grows.
Monsieur Locke, I appreciate your confidence in the senses, but tell me, how do you know which experiences to trust without relying on reason to judge them? When your eyes deceive you, what allows you to determine a truth? When you see a stick appearing bent in the water, what determines the truth of the stick being straight? Not the senses themselves, but rational thought. It is your mind, not your eyes, that says the appearance is false. The stick is straight. Even the act of testing requires logic. This is not learned through experience. They are the tools we use to interpret experience. So yes, experience plays a role, but without pure, innate reason, experience would be a chaos, a storm of sensations with no order, no truth.
Renee, reason isn't born in us fully formed. It grows from experience. The mind learns to judge truth by comparing what it sees and senses. So even when the senses make an error, experience teaches us how to correct them. Let me make it even clearer. The mind is the one who is confused by the bent stick, and the senses are the ones who can clear it up by feeling the stick for themselves.
Ah, Mr. Locke, you mistake the role of our senses. When I see the stick appear bent in the water, my senses present me with an image that is uncertain. It is only when reason examines the situation, when I reflect on how light refracts through water, that I discover the truth. Touching the stick may offer more information, but even then, it is my mind, not the senses themselves, that judges which impression is correct. Experience alone cannot guarantee truth. After all, the senses can present both the bent stick and the straight stick. What tells me which to trust? It is reason, the innate light of understanding, that resolves the contradiction. Without reason, your senses would leave you with nothing but conflicting appearances.
Renee, I grant that the mind must judge, but judgment itself is born from experience. We learn how light bends in water only because the senses first confront us with both the bent stick and the straight one. Reason has no material to work on without what experience provides.
Mr. Locke, experience may trigger our thoughts, but it does not create the standards of truth. The senses show me only appearances. The stick looks bent, then straight, but to judge that both cannot be true requires reason, which is not learned from experience, but built into us. Without this innate light, the senses would give us nothing but confusion.
The very standards of truth you speak of are not planted in us, but shaped as the mind reflects on repeated experience. It is by comparing appearances, bent here, straight there, that we learn consistency, and from that consistency, reason itself takes form.
Consistency, Mr. Locke, is not enough. The senses may repeat themselves, but repetition does not yield certainty. To see that truth must be consistent, that a stick cannot be both bent and straight at once, already assume a standard beyond experience. That standard is the light of reason given to us by nature, not built from habit.
You dress up habit as some mystical light of reason, but what good is your so-called innate truth if it never shows itself until experience calls it forth? Without the senses, your reason sits idle and empty. It is experience that gives it life and substance.
Idle, empty? You mistake my meaning, sir. Reason is not some passive shadow waiting for your precious senses to rouse it. It is the very faculty that allows us to see through the deceptions of sense. Experience alone could never lift us from error. It is reason that corrects and orders it. Without the innate light, your senses would leave you wandering in endless appearances, never grasping truth itself.
Guys, slow down and calm down. You guys need to stop arguing and come to an agreement on at least one thing.
So, Mr. Locke, though we differ on the source, we both see that the mind must judge, not simply take appearances as truth.
Indeed, Renee, experience feeds the mind, but without reflection it remains mere sensation. Then we agree. True knowledge requires both the impressions of the senses and the work of the mind.